Ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, my name is Reavyne and welcome back to my channel. And welcome back to another Reavyne Reacts video where today we're going to be reacting to Hasan Piker attacked on Twitter, and it's another Asmongold video. Now remember, before we start, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, let me know your thoughts. Make sure you hit the subscription button and the bell notification to be notified whenever I go live or put out a brand new video. And make sure you check out my Patreon, it'll be down below in the description box. It's the best way to support me in the channel. With that said, let's get into it, shall we?
I actually wasn't even planning on streaming today. I was like, I think I'm gonna just take the day off. But I started reading Twitter. I was like, man, there's a lot of retards. Like, we gotta talk about this. Millionaire streamer Hasan Piker claims that a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you in the same way that streaming will. And the funny thing about this is that this kid goes and he says this to try to like fucking throw up a white flag. He's like, no, I'm actually on your side. I agree with them.
Yeah, see, that's a really poor way to fucking throw it out there. I agree with the take. First of all, if that's what he really said, Hasan Piker should go do you know, security and work at some of the places I've worked at. he will definitely be changing his mind after doing this. And this is YouTube and Twitch are easy. Okay, it is some of the easiest things you could possibly do, and I wish I was doing this sort of stuff full time compared to some of the other jobs that I've done in my life. Okay, Hasan Piker, he's a millionaire, multi-millionaire, and he's a socialist. That should just tell you all you need to know about the guy, that he's completely full of shit and he's a hypocrite. He's like that Melanie Mac girl, just completely hypocrisy from top to finish in what he believes and what he goes through.
Bro, quit the fucking capping. Like, this kid is lying. You're lying. What do you mean you agree with this tweet when you preface it by saying millionaire streamer? You really think that we don't, like, you think I haven't spent the last 20 years seeing Fox News do this shit? Seeing CNN do this shit? He definitely is trying to roast the shit out of him. Like, what are we talking about? What a little rat.
1.5 million retweets, I'm pretty sure that is. No, is it 1K retweets? I don't know how Twitter works, but 1.5 million views by the looks of it, yeah.
Can't believe this. It's like this guy goes and farms a bunch of hate. My message to Hasan fans, get a job.
No, that's good. I like that. Oh, God. The funny thing is that they're most of them have they're socialists, and yet they're giving money to his fans. Will all be socialists, right? Or incredibly left-leaning socialist type people, and they're giving money to a millionaire. But isn't their whole thing about dismantling, seize the means of production, eat the rich, that whole thing? So kind of hypocritical, don't you think, that you're going to go and donate money to a millionaire?
But then he agrees with the tweet. What are you doing? What a little rat. This guy farms hate on Hasan. He gets 15 people from Hasan's chat saying, I don't agree with you. You took it out of context. And then he's got to make a follow-up tweet about it. Like, oh no, stop bullying me. He changed his mind because Destiny said he agrees with Hasan. TC Brady is in Destiny's Discord.
Ah, good old Destiny.
It's good to know that it wasn't really a principled stance. Let's listen to what Hasan says. And this is the clip that's taken apparently out of context. And we'll watch the full context in a minute, okay?
Yes, a real job can be gruesome. A real job can make you very tired. But a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you. You know what I mean? In the same way that 9 hours of streaming absolutely will.
I work 12-hour shifts, Hasan. And I also flip-flop where I go from days to nights, 12-hour shifts, days to nights. You're completely full of shit. I'll take 9 hours sitting in front of a stream, having hundreds of thousands of people viewing my content and giving me money. I'll take that any day while I'm in my millionaire mansion over having to do my current job or go to work every single day like I do. It's just so hypocritical. It's insanity.
So
Okay,
yes.
so that's the original clip, and there's apparently there's a clip here. It's a 2-minute clip, and so this is him explaining what actually was said.
No.
Okay, here we go.
No. Social battery wise, unless you're in fucking retail,
Try security.
it's very different. You're out of touch. I'm gonna die, dude. There's motherfuckers who are accountants in here, and they're misunderstanding what I'm saying. A real job does not expend your social battery in the same fucking way as someone who did a sales job, a real job. Okay, I'm telling you, as someone who did both, like 9 hours of constant performance and people pleasing taps you out from social scenarios. After 9 hours of that, I could probably do fucking physical labor. It would not bother me, but I can't fucking do more social shit. That's my point.
Yeah, but that's also like saying that if you went to the gym for 9 hours and then after that you can't go, you don't want to go to someone's house where they have like 5 flights of stairs that you want to walk up. Obviously, that if you're doing something that is more social, they're like, with my job, it's social and it's physical, right? So I don't, after I finish work, I really don't want to do anything. But yeah, I'm still here making videos. I still make videos and do stuff and go see my family and my friends and so on and so forth. Even though all I want to do is just lay in bed and just watch TV and just basically be a couch potato and relax. But it's still, this context isn't adding anything to what he's trying to say. It's not helping his case.
I'm the same way.
Like, there are obviously real jobs out there that are good comparisons. Service sector, people-pleasing jobs would be very similar. Those are, like, I think, customer service type shit. But, like, if you're an accountant or if you're even, like, in sales, my interactions with clients was limited, way more limited than, like, constantly having to do this for 9 hours.
But all he's complaining about is the fact he has to constantly do this for 9 hours, right? If I had to stream for 8 hours and then go do, you know, something for 4 hours after that, it would be easy, right? I could do that because normally I'd be working 12-hour shifts to begin with. So it doesn't really take it out of you as much as he's trying to say it is, especially if you're, and here's the thing, right? It comes down to the incentive and stuff as well. He's coming from this because him and Asmongold are both coming from this because they're millionaires, right? So more money to them isn't an incentive anymore. So for them, I'm sure if they go and stream for 9 hours, their social battery gets drained and then they don't want to go out and see their friends or party or do whatever they want to do normally. But to anyone else who's us, right? Literally going and doing this for 9 hours, making thousands upon thousands of dollars, right? And then going to go do something else would be a godsend. It would be amazing. It'd be the best thing in the world to be able to go do that. So yeah, it's just he's out of touch and he's a hypocrite.
With like a back and forth interaction for 9 hours, that's what like sucks your social battery and you just tap out after it.
Yeah, but you're also making a lot of money doing it. If you have to sit there and talk to stream your viewers and the people that support you, that's easy. All you do is talk and commentate and get your opinion wrong on a whole bunch of different things and jump the gun on a whole bunch of different stuff. Like, it's not, I don't see where the hardness is coming into this job here.
Yeah, think about it this way. Like, you give presentations for your job, right?
It's not a 9-hour presentation. It's not a presentation at all. All you have to do is just be yourself. And if he is not being himself on stream, and if he's not being himself while doing this, then that's the problem to begin with. It means that he's cheating his audience and he's cheating everyone else because he's putting on a show, right? He's not being his authentic self while doing this. When he claims he's being his authentic self and these are his real opinions and he truly believes all this sort of stuff. So that's a bit iffy.
Imagine giving a presentation for 9 hours straight.
It's not like a presentation.
After a while, you would be like, I don't want to talk.
Or the department manager just occasionally is just like, hey, you suck, bitch. Bald ass bitch, you fell off, huh? We're gonna remember this in your performance review. You fat fuck. Stupid ass bitch.
Ever again.
So people getting mad. It's a bad take. What's it a bad take of?
It is a bad take. It's an extremely bad take, and it does, like I said, the problem with it is that it's incredibly out of touch. The reason why it's a bad take is because he makes thousands upon thousands of dollars from doing this presentation that he wants to call it. If you said to me, "Hey, Raven, do you want to go work for 12 hours straight just to make $294 or whatever it is I make for 12 hours?" It's definitely not more than $300. Go work my ass off for 12 hours, kicking people out, dealing with the drunk people, dealing with people on drugs, fucking socializing, doing all that, physically throwing people out of a place. Do you want to spend 12 hours doing that? Or do you want to spend 9 hours just talking to people and having a good time on stream? And then after you're done talking to people and having a good time on stream, you can just go and do whatever the hell you want for the rest of the day. I think I know which one I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose to make lots of money, and I'm going to choose the talk to people on stream, because I enjoy talking to people on stream, and I love talking to people on stream when I do stream. It is fun to just sit there, play video games, and to talk to people on stream. It's awesome. So I don't see where he's just being a hypocrite. I don't see where the problem is here. He's saying that what he does is harder than every other job, even an accountant job where they don't talk to a single person, right? Their fucking social battery will probably be more drained than just doing this. It's not hard. It's not a hard thing to do.
He says that he gets exhausted socially because he's talking to people for 9 hours a day. You really think that's not true?
But so do millions upon millions of other people, but they don't make the same amount of money for doing the same sort of thing. That's the problem. That's where there's a disconnect here, and where he's disconnected from everyone else. He's trying to say that what he does is going to socially drain him from talking to people, so on and so forth, but he gets paid a fuckload of money for doing it, and what he's doing is very, very low down there in terms of effort. It's just not the same.
I mean, you really think it's not true that after you spend 9 hours being investigated by thousands of people with every facial movement, everything you say, every word, with people constantly trying to disagree with you and fight with you, that's not socially draining? This is totally understandable. And he's not comparing it to every other job.
But he is kind of is. He's, and by him trying to say that, oh, it's basically it's social battery jobs, right? That he's still comparing it to millions of other jobs out there. Like I said, unless the only ones that wouldn't apply to is, say, someone who's just like locked in their basement doing coding or something like that, right? Or like someone who's like even working deep in the mines. But even then, those guys' jobs are still way fucking harder than anything he's doing. So boo-hoo, your social battery is sort of drained after 9 hours. Right, but all these other jobs are just mind-numbing, and they're boring as all hell.
He's saying compared to other jobs where you're not talking to people constantly. His take isn't broad enough. Yeah, it is. He explained it pretty clearly.
No.
The clip out of context was posted 30 minutes after he said that. Instantly on Reddit, it blew up calling him a dumbass, which just reinforces his argument.
It's because he is a dumbass.
Well, yeah, it's definitely understandable. Exactly. Just think nobody knows what's real.
Most people will simply not agree with this because he's rich. The problem is because he's rich that he shouldn't be arguing, he shouldn't be complaining about it, because the very thing that he's complaining about is the very thing that is easy to do, and it's the very thing that made him rich to begin with. He wasn't complaining about this stuff when he was, you know, a small-time person, but now that he's obviously massive and he has a lot of money, of course he's going to complain about it.
Really socially draining? Well, not saying it isn't, but it's not as bad as others. I think that, like, so streaming as like a job is extremely socially draining.
Of course it is.
It is. That's why, like, there's a weird catch-22 where a lot of streamers are introverted, but being a streamer requires you to do a lot of things that extroverts want you to do. So, like, in order to be good at something, you have to be one way, and in order to cope with it, the success of being good with it, good at it, you have to be another way. And so that's what it is. Hasan's basically explaining that in a more, direct way. You could say a simpler
more idiotic way, and that doesn't make any sense, but yeah.
way. And he's getting shit on.
Rightfully so.
But a lot of people think they're introverted whenever they're actually extroverts. Well, I don't know about that. Did you start the stream? Went right into this? Yeah, because I fucking spent...
Yeah, someone said he's just a faker, and like I said before, the fact that he's comparing it to a presentation shows that he is a faker. That to him, it's, well, the very fact that he's a multi-millionaire and he's a socialist just shows that he's a faker. He should be giving that money away. But
I usually spend the first hour of my stream talking about nothing, and like then
Further
I don't
course, man.
play video games until like it's midnight, or like 5 hours into the stream. I didn't do anything. Like we gotta get this shit done. Like there's a lot of stuff to talk about today. I don't have time to fucking sit around and talk about like, oh, I went live late today because my back hurt. Oh my god. We really need to hear about this again? Who the fuck cares? So
True.
yeah. Like, we're not going to get into that again. Having streaming as a job is an exhausting situation. Yeah, of course it is, right? Hasan is right. People are just reactionary. They absolutely are.
Hasan isn't right. He's completely wrong.
Someone actually said real job. What does that mean? A real job is a job that you have. Bullshit jobs are the ones that other people have. It's just that simple.
Well, not true. So a real job would be something like working. A real job is a job that you're doing and it's menial to a certain degree, right? So, security is a real job, working in the mines is a real job, oil rigging is a real job, working at Sephora's is a real job, like, being a baker is a real job. It's something where you're just a cog in the wheel and you're just doing that. Now, obviously, being a YouTuber and streamer and all that sort of stuff, they're real jobs. Anyone who says they're not real jobs is an idiot. But at the same time, that's not what the conversation here is about. It's not about what a real job is. It's about what are you getting out of it for the effort put in. And what Hasan and even Asmongold is doing is very, 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 very low effort, right, compared to all the other jobs out there. And what they get out of it is a fuckload of money, hence why they're both millionaires. So Asmongold's not complaining about it, but Hasan is complaining about it. He's trying to say, oh, woe is me all the time, when he's a millionaire from doing this very easy job.
It's quite trendy and quite frankly easy to shit on Hasan. That's the crux of it all. Well, hey, if it's so easy to shit on him, then why are you making up fake reasons to do it? If he's got so many bad takes and he says all this stuff that's wrong, then why not focus on that rather than taking something that's totally understandable
It's not understandable.
and then turning it into something that it's not? He makes thousands of dollars a day. Him making takes trying to relate to normal working people is fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's basically like the CEO making $1,000 a second, trying to be like, well, how are you going, my fellow workers? It doesn't work.
Well, there are normal working people that also make thousands of dollars a day.
And if you had one of those who then turned around and tried to go to the guy working at McDonald's, hey, you fellow workers, how are you going? It's not going to work. It just doesn't work.
So, like, I don't really understand, like, what your point is. Yeah, I mean, what do you mean? It's a stupid comparison. Yeah, like, what?
It just doesn't work.
Like, you think streamer is the only job that you can make a lot of money in? I have tons of friends that make tons of money. And a lot of them aren't streamers. Yeah, what do you mean? Like, what the fuck? No. It's chatter can't think past 2. Exactly. They're not normal anymore. Well, I think that is normal as...
Thank you once again. See, the problem is Asmongold here is, like, one, he's friends with Hasan as far as I know, and 2, he is incredibly as out of touch as Hasan is when it comes to this, because he makes a lot of money. He can't fathom anymore the difference between someone who makes thousands of dollars a day, right, and everyone else who's making, a couple $100 a day, if that. It's especially for like 12 hours work, for 10 hours work, for 8 hours work, they'll be making $100 and something a day. it's completely, you're talking about completely different levels here of people. They just don't exist together. And for someone above on the higher tier who's making thousands of dollars a day to turn around and say, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me, to someone who's only making $100 a day, it just, what are you doing? It's just insanity. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And it sounds stupid, and it sounds out of touch, and it sounds like you're just being a crybaby, which is true.
As in, like, they don't work in entertainment, right? They don't work in entertainment. Why do people assume that money solves all your issues and doesn't drain you?
Because money does solve 90% of your issues. There are very few things that money can't solve, i.e. your family dying, i.e. you dying, i.e. people getting sick, things like that. Apart from like existential things, money solves everything, right? If I didn't have to pay my rent, my mortgage right now, that would take so much stress off my shoulders, right? If I didn't have to pay for my car, that would take all stress off my shoulders. If I didn't have to pay all my bills, if I could help out my family with their stuff by making sure that they had enough house and money and all this sort of stuff, that would take so much weight off everyone's shoulders. Like, money solves pretty much every single thing you can possibly think of. We can go on holidays, we can go buy whatever we want, we can do whatever we want. And it helps greatly in every regard. It can't help with everything, but nothing can help with everything. So, of course, money solves all your problems. It does, except for those existential ones.
Well, hey, Kanye West said it. He said that there. I was gonna make a joke, but I figured, actually, you know what? We'll give that another 6 months before I make those jokes. He said, having money isn't everything, but not having it is. I think that's really the truth, right?
Yeah, and of course the multi-millionaire is saying having money isn't everything. If I won the lottery tomorrow, my life would be 1,000,000 times better than what it would. There's a curve, right? So at some point, making more money does nothing for you. You get to a certain point, Asmongolds there, Hasan's there, where they're at that point where making more money doesn't actually improve their happiness, it doesn't improve their lives, it doesn't do anything because they're already rich enough to the nth degree. But there's scientifically proven through studies and stuff that making more money and having more money significantly improves your life and significantly improves people's happiness up to a certain point. And then they're making too much money and it doesn't matter anymore. So for Kanye, obviously it's not going to matter. For Asmongold, it's not going to matter. For Hasan Piker, it's not going to matter because they're all millionaires, right? Having more money is not going to do anything for them. But I'm pretty sure if all of a sudden you took all their money away, their tune would change pretty freaking quickly.
Right?
Well, when it comes down to how happy they are in their life and all that sort of stuff.
That's it. So, like, if you don't have money, that's everything in your life. If you do have money, you realize that there are other problems in life that are also important. But if you don't have that, money is going to mean more to you than almost anything else. So yeah, streamer doesn't make a lot of money. When you actually normalize the salary, engineers, doctors, people in trades make median more than a streamer. Streaming is extremely top heavy. Well, of course it is.
Yeah, it's massively top heavy.
And there are a lot of people that are grinding away, and they stream 8 hours a day, and they get, let's say, 300 viewers, 500 viewers.
Jesus, I wish I got that much.
They make $100,000 a year. Let's be very, very optimistic here.
I wish I was making $100,000 a year. Holy shit.
They make $100,000 a year.
See, even the numbers he throws out is just like, I wish I was making $100,000 a year.
And, like, I'll be real. If somebody was making that much money and, you know...
Yeah, 100K is still a lot of money. Like, I work full-time, 12-hour shifts, rotating roster, and I make about 70K a year. Like, 100K would be insanity. I would love to have a 100K job. That would be, like, the best thing in the world. That would improve my life so much by having that job.
Oh, like, it was like, is this really a good idea for you to do this? Probably not. $100,000 is still a lot. It is a lot, but whenever you think about the fact that streaming is just so transient, like, for example, you can get banned. Oh, well, now you're banned. Now what? Like, all of your job experience, everything that you did, like, it's completely different. Like, you have, like, a 3-year gap in employment. You have, like, this online presence that you know, creates a context in which people see you. So yeah, you can get fired. Exactly. No, yeah, you definitely can get fired. But the difference is that, like, streaming, there are jobs that exist in entertainment that streaming helps you understand and learn. That's definitely true. But at the same time, there are also a lot of people, and I think in most traditional jobs, those people don't really have the same opportunities. It's like, for example, if you work as an accountant and you get fired from one place, it's not going to be as hard to get another job as an accountant.
Yeah, but at the same time, you could just, if you get, say, permanently banned or something from YouTube or Twitch or that sort of thing, you can just jump to the next platform and to the next platform. Now, obviously, if you end up like a Alex Jones type person where you're just banned everywhere, he's still going. He's still making money. So, you know, you can have your own website. You can stream that way. If you have the money and the capital, which these guys have, there's definitely ways to do that and get around it. So obviously, if you're just a normal streamer making 100K, you obviously wouldn't be doing anything to get yourself banned, because why would you? If you go and do something to get yourself banned, well, that's no different to me at work just walking up and slogging someone for no apparent reason. It's going to get you fired.
Versus if you work on Twitch and you stream on Twitch, you get banned on Twitch, it's probably going to be a lot harder for you to transition over to YouTube or Kick. That's my point,
you
right? You
can transition. That's
There's
the point.
negative externalities if a streamer wants to get a real job. Yeah, of course. And so it's really not that complicated. But anyway, yeah, so Hasan said this today, and naturally everybody is congratulating themselves about, here's a dumbass clip, Hasan being welcomed into the emo community. Oh, yeah, I did. Oh, yeah, he did the emo. I saw that with that Johnny guy. I looked at that earlier. And so there's a lot of people. Streaming is literally the easiest part of being a content creator.
True. Streaming is the easiest part of being a content creator. You just sit down and money just spawns in. No, that's not true. But at the same time, at his level, that's definitely 100% true. It's so goddamn free. Hasan just gets a cam and regurgitates the most popular political opinions found on Reddit that day. Literally true, 100%.
You just sit down, make money, just spawns in. It's just so goddamn free. Who is...
Apart from the money just spawns in part, true though, but that level does spawn in.
This guy, does he stream? They have 400 viewers.
I wish I had 400 viewers.
Streaming is easy. Being good at streaming is hard.
Not really, it's just a popularity contest.
Hopefully now he understands.
Have a look at all the top girl streamers and stuff like that. They're literally just there most likely because they're girls, depending on, for the most part, all the hot tub streamers and all that sort of stuff. Like, I wonder why they're there. It's not because they're good at streaming, it's because of their assets.
I understand, obviously there's a lot of people. Bad take. No, isn't 400 viewers good? Oh, it's definitely good.
Also, he was just using 400, 300, 400 as an example of it being awesome with 100K, but now 400 is bad.
But you're not going to go and tell somebody who's one of the top streamers on the entire platform that it's easy. Do you really think that Hasan's experience and...
Why would it be harder for Hasan than it would be for this guy? Having more people, the more viewers you have, the easier it gets, because then the more people you have watching your content, the more money you're making. And the more money you're making, the more resources you have to deal with the amount of people that are there, and the more opinions you have to just feed off of, and so on and so forth. It becomes easier and easier and easier.
And this random's experience is going to be the same streaming?
His will be harder.
That's insane. Of course 400 viewers is good. But don't go talk to somebody who gets 20,000 regularly and act like you're on the same level, because you're not. All streamers have some kind of cope. Well, what's the cope here? I mean, I'm not really sure if I'm understanding this. You say people disagree with his take on the whole job thing, made up fake reason to shit on him for it. When you added a word to his take socially, it does a lot of heavy lifting, unless I miss some context, kind of disingenuous. Well, he's talking about socially. Like, the reason why I'm saying that is because that's what he's saying. So, for example, like, if I listen to the clip, right? Like, you just listen to the first few seconds of the clip.
No. Social battery-wise, unless you're in
So I'm not using the word. I listened to the clip. That's all. It's not hard. I think most people made up their mind on something like this before they listened to it. So whenever they have to hear context that makes their original assumption wrong, they're getting mad at me. That's the problem. Exactly. It's like a supermodel saying they have a harder job than a catalog model.
Literally.
Well,
yeah.
I'm not really sure. Hasan's an
No, that don't skip by that. That's a very good point. A supermodel saying that she has a harder job. It's a supermodel getting paid $1 million a shoot, saying that she has a harder job than the normal model getting paid $200 a shoot. Come on.
artist is Father Simus for being Young Turks. Everybody always has their opinion about Hasan.
It's because he's a dumbass.
And I understand that you might not like things that Hasan
And a hypocrite.
has said on his stream. There are things that he might have said that have upset you, that have made you mad, that you don't like. Why not focus on the real ones? Why are you inventing things that didn't happen? And
once again, Asmongold would be shitting all over this if someone else had said this and it wasn't Hasan, who's his friend, and also a massive streamer and so on and so forth. He would be shitting all over this. He'd be saying it's a very, very bad take, that it makes no sense, unless his bias about being a streamer himself was strong enough that he wouldn't be saying it just because it harms his own, perspective and point of view as a massive streamer. Because it's just, there's no way you can cut it. It's a bad take. Whichever way you slice it, it's a bad take.
And then getting mad about them. It makes you look stupid. If you have all of these problems with somebody, then it doesn't seem very legitimate whenever you have to make up new problems that don't actually exist. That's what my opinion is. They're soft, yes. The guys are making, what's this here? A career, these guys making a career of being bitter. Isn't that pathetic? Oh yeah, absolutely. The area of conversation with politics is more draining than some other types of streaming? Oh yeah.
It can also be draining when your opinion is wrong and also you're Hasan being a socialist and having all these, he's getting pulled in two different directions because he has all the hardcore, religiously, zealotly, insane lefties, and then he has all the normal people, and he's getting pulled in two different directions. So of course he has to try and ride that line in order to keep his audience happy and say some insane shit. So that would obviously suck, and that would be draining as all hell. That'd be draining than most people just sitting down playing a game. But at the same time, it's still not as hard as other jobs.
Hasan didn't start from zero. Who cares if he did? Very few people start really from zero.
A lot of people do.
Most people have advantages, and I'll tell you one thing. If you're able to be talking in this chat, you didn't start from zero either. There's people in the world that don't have an internet connection, and you do. But somehow you're going to be complaining about how you can't fix your life, and those people who don't have an internet connection are working to get one. So you can complain and cry about, oh, Hasan got in, he's a young...
Yeah, but just those are two completely different things. You talk about someone who doesn't have an internet connection, someone who's just born in a country that has internet connections. That's completely different to Hasan having a golden spoon in his mouth. And once again, he doesn't understand the levels of there's levels to this.
Turks, his uncle worked there, and all these things can be true. But the reality is that all of us have different degrees of privilege. That's why we're here. Do you really think that somebody with...
Yeah, but the difference is that we all don't run around screaming about, dismantle privilege, or everyone has white privilege, this privilege, social privilege, blah, 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 blah. Hasan does that. He runs around being a social justice warrior and saying all that sort of crap. And then he turns around and complains like this, oh, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. Like, you can't, once again, it's hypocritical.
Without privilege, without any privilege, is going to be sitting at 9 p.m. watching a video game stream? Get the fuck out of here. Come on. What are you thinking? Being alive is a privilege. Oh, yeah, for sure. And also, people can't control. This is the other thing. people can't control the circumstances that they're born under. Whether that means if they're disabled, whether that means if they're white, black, male, female, gay, not gay, straight, I guess you could say. Whether they're poor, whether they're rich, whether they're short, whether they're tall. So I find it to be odd that we all agree that it's generally not a good idea to make fun of people for things that they can't control, but somehow people have no problem demonizing a person because they had advantages that they also couldn't control either.
Well, the thing is that he had advantages he couldn't control, but like I said, it's because of the hypocrisy. It's because he sits there and he complains and complains and complains about everyone else's advantages and so on and so forth, and about dismantling them and throwing them away and so on and so forth. But when it comes down to his, all of a sudden, it's completely fine. Don't worry about it. You got to make excuses for him. It's just wrong. He's a hypocrite, and Asmongold, I think, was off the mark on this one because it was his mate. That's the only thing I can think of. And also because he has like a millionaire bias to it as well. But that's the end of the video, guys. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification to get notified whenever I put out brand new videos. Make sure you check out my Patreon. It'll be down in the description box below. And with that said, I shall see you all in the next video. Have a good one, guys.